Pain arrives without ceremony. It does not knock, it does not wait for permission, and it does not care about your excuses. It shows up as a bruise on your pride, a knot in your chest, a limp in your stride, or the hollow silence after a promise you failed to keep. For most people, pain is a signal to stop, to hide, to explain. For the few who change their lives, pain is the clearest, most honest teacher they will ever have. It tells you where your edges are, where your systems leak, where your courage is thin. It points to the exact place you must go if you want to grow. When I first learned to listen, it felt like betrayal. I had been taught to avoid discomfort, to smooth the rough edges, to make life palatable. Pain felt like punishment for not being perfect. But the truth is simpler and harsher. Pain is information. It is the raw data of your limits. It does not judge, it reports. If you can read it without drama, it will tell you what to fix. If you translate the ache into a sentence, my endurance failed, my plan was sloppy, I avoided the hard conversation, you turn noise into a map. That map is the only honest route out of stagnation. Pain demands specificity. It will not accept vague promises. "I'll try harder" is a prayer that pain ignores. Pain wants experiments, not wishes. It wants you to change one variable and measure the result. It wants you to stop pretending that willpower alone will carry you. It wants systems, routines that make the first step automatic, rituals that remove debate, recovery that is scheduled like work. When you treat pain as a lab result, you stop arguing with feelings and start engineering outcomes. You stop telling stories about why you couldn't and start showing numbers that prove you did. There is a brutal economy to this work. Every sacrifice buys something. Every early morning, every extra rep, every honest conversation, every night you chose rest over scrolling. These are deposits. Pain is the receipt. It is the ledger that proves you paid the price. If you keep spending on comfort, the account empties and the bills come due in the form of regret, missed opportunities, and the slow erosion of self-respect. If you invest in the hard things, the returns compound. The pain you endure today buys options tomorrow: time, credibility, freedom to choose. That is the paradox most people never accept. Pain now creates freedom later.
Not all pain is equal. There is productive pain and there is destructive pain. Productive pain expands capacity. It is the burn in your muscles after a set that was just beyond your last limit, the awkwardness of a conversation that clarifies a relationship, the embarrassment of a first draft that will become a book. Destructive pain corrodes. It is the chronic stress you ignore, the relationships you sacrifice for vanity, the habits that numb you without teaching anything. The difference is measurable. Productive pain leaves you stronger, clearer, more capable. Destructive pain leaves you smaller, more tired, and more confused. Learn to tell them apart. When pain teaches, you listen. When it destroys, you change course. Recovery is not optional. Too many people treat pain like a badge and ignore the repair. They confuse suffering with virtue and call exhaustion a sign of commitment. That is not discipline, it is negligence. The person who wins the long game schedules recovery with the same rigor as work. Sleep, nutrition, reflection, honest rest, these are not luxuries. They are the infrastructure that allows pain to be useful. Without repair, pain becomes damage. With repair, pain becomes progress. Pain will make you lonely. People will not cheer when you choose the hard path. They will ask why you deny yourself, why you are so strict, why you refuse the easy pleasures. Some will call your discipline selfish. Others will drift away because your priorities no longer match theirs. That loneliness is part of the cost. It is also a filter. The people who stay are the ones who understand the work or who are willing to be honest about their own. Seek them. Let them be the mirrors that reflect your progress and the friction that sharpens you. The rest are background noise. Language matters. The words you use to describe pain change how you respond to it. "I failed" is different from "I learned." "I'm broken" is different from "I found a gap." Replace shame with curiosity. Replace drama with a checklist. When you say, "This hurt because X, I will change Y," you convert emotion into action. That is the moment pain stops being a prison and becomes a classroom. There will be moments when pain feels unfair. There will be losses that sting without obvious lessons.
There will be nights when the only thing you can do is sit with the ache and wait for morning. Those moments are real and they are human. They do not negate the rule that pain teaches. They complicate it. Sometimes the lesson is simply endurance, to survive, to show up again, to refuse to be defined by a single setback. Sometimes the lesson is humility, to accept help, to admit you were wrong, to rebuild with better foundations. Both are valid. Both are part of the curriculum. Action is the only honest response. Reflection without change is rumination. If pain tells you the system failed, fix the system. If pain tells you the skill is missing, practice the skill. If pain tells you the relationship is toxic, leave or repair it. The speed of your recovery matters more than the size of your failure. The person who returns to work faster compounds advantage. The person who lingers in explanation compounds regret. Pain will test your identity. When the world is easy, identity is a costume you can wear without effort. When pain arrives, identity is revealed. Do you become someone who hides, who blames, who shrinks? Or do you become someone who learns, who adapts, who grows? The answer is not heroic, it is habitual. Identity is built by the small choices you make when it hurts. Keep choosing the hard thing, and the identity follows. If you want a practical rule, pay attention to what hurts and do one measurable thing about it today. Not 10 things, one. Make it specific, track it, repeat it. The accumulation of those single, honest responses is how mastery is built. The accumulation of excuses is how life slips away. Pain is not a curse. It is the most direct teacher you will ever have. It does not flatter, it does not lie, it does not negotiate. It shows you the truth about your limits and hands you the tools to expand them. Listen without drama, act without delay, repair without shame. Over time, the lessons add up. You will be stronger, clearer, and more capable than you were before. That is the promise pain offers. Not comfort, not ease, but the only real path to growth. Stop wasting your life. If this message hit you, don't just scroll away. Follow the channel, like, share, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Your engagement keeps this movement alive and reminds you daily that time is too precious to waste.